Right friends, welcome back to Why and How. This is from 6th February to 12th February. This is for the 6th week. We are going to deliberate certain issues. The first one is, there was a collision of an LPG tanker with a fuel carrier off the Kamarajar port near Chennai, that is Ennur, Tamil Nadu. And I would like to tell you one thing about major ports. There are 12 major ports, and this Kamarajar port is in Ennur near Chennai. So Tamil Nadu coast has got 3 ports, and they are Kamarajar port, Chennai port and Tuticorin port. And here these 12 ports are under the Ministry of Shipping, that is one aspect. And there was a collision of LPG tanker with a fuel carrier, and here lot of damage was done. In fact, sea waters in that locality were badly polluted, and all of you are quite familiar with several disasters concerning pollution, that is Bhopal gas tragedy of 1984. Subsequently, this Kodaikanal, Unilever's mercury contaminated site in Kodaikanal. At the same time, in Elur, Kerala, this is Hindustan Insecticides Limited. At the same time, chromium badly polluted some areas around Vellore. So these are instances where not much attention is paid for clearing the damage after some incident. And here, if you look at the pollution subsequent to this, there are different aspects. In fact, this violates the provisions of the Convention on the Conservation of Migratory Species of Wild Animals. And another important aspect is, there is a National Oil Spill Disaster Contingency Plan. National Oil Spill Disaster Contingency Plan, and this is done under Indian Coast Guard. So the nodal authority for its implementation is Indian Coast Guard, and for tackling pollution at all the 12 major ports as well as 26 non-major ports, 50% of funding is given by the center, and it is the responsibility of the ports to contribute the other half, and the capabilities are to be built to handle such disasters, right. So these are various provisions with regard to tackling this type of oil spills, right. So this is the picture, and this oil spill was cleared subsequently. Look at the next issue. There is a proposal in the union budget that a steep penalty for accepting cash in excess of rupees 3 lakh is going to be introduced to settle any transaction. So for any individual, for settling single transaction, maximum cash transaction limit is rupees 3 lakhs. If the single transaction exceeds rupees 3 lakhs, it should be paid either through digital transfer or through check. This is the proposal in the union budget, and here if anyone violates, then 100% of the cash transacted will be imposed as penalty. So if someone is transacting rupees 10 lakhs in cash, then entire 10 lakh will go as penalty. Then second important point is, quoting PAN number for the transactions above rupees 2 lakh will continue to stay. So these are the proposals as per union budget with regard to limiting cash transactions up to rupees 3 lakh, and accordingly an amendment was proposed to the Income Tax Act. Look at the next issue. Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare launched measles and rubella vaccination, popularly known as MR vaccine. At present, measles vaccine is as per Universal Immunization Program. What I mean to say is, at present, measles vaccine is provided under Universal Immunization Program. I would like to tell you one point. India's Universal Immunization Program is at present covering around 65% to 70%, and government's intention is to take it to 90%. That is one part of the story, and the other part is this rubella is added as new addition on experimental basis in 5 states initially in the first phase. You cannot say experimental basis. In the first phase, it was launched in 5 states or union territories, and subsequently it will be expanded to all the parts of the country. Then this measles as well as rubella, these two are because of virus, and these two are airborne diseases. And here I would like to tell you one point. When the infection of rubella occurs in pregnant women, it causes congenital rubella syndrome or CRS. CRS is too dangerous because subsequently babies will be born with cataract, glaucoma, hearing loss and mental retardation, and India is one of the worst affected countries because of measles and rubella. Please look into these pictures. They show certain aspects of measles as well as rubella. Then finally, please don't forget, previously under universal immunization program, measles vaccine was there, and now in future measles and rubella will be combined so as to have composite MR vaccine. Then the next point is, scientists of United States of America successfully implanted world's smallest pacemaker. This pacemaker is of small size, just like large vitamin capsule. And what is the use of pacemaker? This is for the patients suffering from bradycardia, that is heart disease. Bradycardia means, before understanding it, one should note that the normal heartbeat rate, you can see by looking at it. Doctors normally look at the pulse to identify the heartbeat rate. Heartbeat rate is expected to be between 60 to 100 beats per minute, and if the heartbeat is less than 60 per minute, that is bradycardia. And because of bradycardia, what happens? Oxygen rich blood will not reach all the parts of the body. So because of lower heart rate, their heart will be unable to pump enough oxygen rich blood to the body during normal activity or exercise. What this pacemaker will do? Pacemaker will send electrical impulses. Pacemaker will send electrical impulses to increase the heartbeat rate. So this is all about this pacemaker as well as bradycardia. Look into the next issue. This is, Union government announced that work on installing smart fence. Smart fencing means with lasers and sophisticated devices, this cross-border terrorism can be controlled. And Union government stated that it will install smart fence along 3,323 km India-Pakistan border. The point to note here is the new fence will have a multi-tier security ring comprising an alarm to security force personnel. Two things don't forget. Total border between India and Pakistan is 3,323 kilometers, including line of control. This is as per the figures of Ministry of Home Affairs. As per Ministry of Home Affairs figures, J&K border with Pakistan is the longest with 1225 kilometers, including line of control, and the smallest border is with Gujarat, 508 kilometers. And some news report that the length of border as something different, but this is as per official site. These are the figures. So 508 kilometers or smallest border between India and Pakistan lies in the state of Gujarat with 508 kilometers. Look into the next one. Union government will launch a new and restructured central scheme, Trade Infrastructure for Exports scheme. Trade Infrastructure for Exports scheme in 2017-18, basically to create infrastructure for exports. Because of creation of modern infrastructure, transaction costs will be reduced for the traders. Ultimately, if the transaction costs are reduced with the creation of modern infrastructure, then our exports will be competitive globally. Look into the next issue. Union government decided to create Dairy Infrastructure Development Fund. This is basically with a view to have modernization and ensuring supply of quality milk. And please don't forget, this was announced in the budget this year, and this will be for a period of 3 years, and total outlay is rupees 8,000 crore, out of which this year's budget allotment is rupees 2,000 crore. Right? Look into the next one. Bharti Airtel recently approached Competition Commission of India seeking respite from Reliance Jio's free service. Reliance Jio is offering free services and it is extending free services also, and as per the latest news report, the income of other telecom companies reduced substantially, around 20% in recent times, and Airtel stated that it is predatory pricing. Airtel stated that it is predatory pricing and it is adversely affecting competition, and accordingly Airtel reported to TRAI first. Airtel first reported to Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, but Airtel is not satisfied with the response from TRAI. That's why it approached Competition Commission of India. Competition Commission of India is a statutory body which looks at the issues pertaining to fair trade. Right? Let us wait for the opinion of Competition Commission of India with regard to the Reliance Jio case. Look into the next one. February 6 is celebrated as the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation. This is one of the biggest issues in African countries, and this year's theme is building a solid and interactive bridge between Africa and the world to accelerate ending FGM by 2030. And this female genital mutilation, this is basically altering or injuring the female genitalia for non-medical reasons. This is the practice in vogue in some African countries, and as per 2015 Sustainable Development Goals, goal number 5 on gender equality calls for ending this unfortunate practice by 2030. Right? Look at the next issue. 2 legislative bills were proposed in United States of America, and these 2 bills are keenly watched by Indian software sector. The first bill proposes increasing the minimum wage rate for H1B visas to $1,30,000 from the present $60,000. Once this is passed, then for replacing American workers, Indian software companies have to pay minimum $1,30,000. If the payment to the employee is only $1,30,000, then only they can replace American employees. At present, the limit is $60,000. The second one is disallowing companies with more than 50 employees, of which at least half of them are H1B or L1 visa holders, from hiring additional H1B employees. So these 2 aspects and these 2 bills which are placed in US Congress, or you can say specifically US House of Representatives, is causing alarm bells in the Indian software sector, because Indian software sector's profits may be affected. Look at the next one. Human Resource Development Ministry will soon set up National Testing Agency. Now, various examinations to get admissions to institutions like IITs, NITs, medical institutions are being conducted by various boards like CBSE. So, at present various boards are conducting entrance examinations for higher education institutions, but in future in a centralized way one agency will be established, that is National Testing Agency. So, in future, for conducting all these examinations, National Testing Agency will be established. Look into the next issue. Farmers' welfare was given topmost priority in 2017-18 budget. I listed out various aspects pertaining to agriculture in Union budget. Total agriculture credit to farmers is increased to rupees 10 lakh crores. Agriculture credit to farmers is increased to rupees 10 lakh crores. That is one aspect. Then all of you are familiar with Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, and during the current financial year, during 2016-17, the coverage is 30% of the cropped area, and it will be increased to 40% during 2017-18, 50% during 2018-19. So, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana will be increased to 50% of cropped area by 2018-19. Another important point is the government's intention is to give soil health cards to all the 14 crore farming families, and to look at the quality of the soils, mini labs at Krishi Vignan Kendras will be set up almost in each and every district headquarter. So, this Krishi Vignan Kendras are available in almost all the district headquarters, and in these Krishi Vignan Kendras, mini laboratories will be established to test the soil samples, because government's intention is to issue soil health cards to 100% of the farmers. If you look at further aspects, a micro irrigation fund with a corpus of rupees 5,000 crores will be set up. Micro irrigation fund with a corpus of rupees 5,000 crores will be set up, basically to give impetus to micro irrigation. Then second point is long term irrigation fund. It was previously 20,000 crores corpus. Now another 20,000 crores of rupees is added. So, now long term irrigation fund will have a corpus of rupees 40,000 crores. So, please do not forget this micro irrigation fund and long term irrigation fund, these two will be maintained by NABARD. Another important aspect is for every electronic national agriculture market, please do not forget, at present 250 mandis are brought under electronic national agriculture market, and this will be increased to 585 mandis. At the same time, for each mandi, 75 lakhs of rupees will be provided, basically for cleaning, grading and packaging facilities. Then another important aspect is dairy processing and infrastructure development fund will be set up by NABARD with the initial corpus of rupees 2,000 crore and rupees 8,000 crore over a period of 5 years, so as to ensure quality in dairy processing, or you can say quality in milk products. We have just now discussed about this. So, these are important aspects if you look at agriculture sector in the Union Budget 17-18. The Supreme Court approved government's plan to record the identification details of mobile subscribers through EKYC mechanism linked to Aadhaar. So, basically this is with an intention to enhance national security and also to prevent fake users, and the mechanism will cover at least 100 crore mobile phone subscribers and 90% of whom are prepaid card holders. Supreme Court approved this with an intention to enhance national security. Look at the next one. Railway Minister stated that 23 stations will be brought under Station Redevelopment Plan. Total government's intention is to develop 400 stations. Indian Railways has got around 8,000 railway stations. Out of 8,000 railway stations, 400 will be developed under Station Redevelopment Plan. Out of 400, 23 will be developed in the first phase, and here rights will be given to the developer for commercial exploitation of the land for a period of 45 years, but the ownership lies with the railways, and this work will be executed by Swiss challenge method. One corporate will give the proposal, and here rival bidders can beat that proposal with more attractive one. That is the meaning of Swiss challenge method, right? Look at the next one. Japan researchers have developed a terahertz transmitter, and this is capable of transmitting digital data 10 times more faster than 5G mobile networks. So it will be ultra high speed wireless communications, right? So Terahertz brand is a new and vast frequency resource expected to be used for future ultra high speed wireless communication, right? So this is expected to be unveiled by 2020, and researchers have developed a transmitter with a communication speed of 105 gigabits per second. And look at the next one. Bangladesh stated that it would relocate thousands of Rohingya refugees from Myanmar in a thinly populated island in the Bay of Bengal, and this island is 30,000 hectares in area and around 37 miles from the mainland. Please look into this picture. This is Rakhine state in Myanmar. This is Rakhine state in Myanmar, and Rohingya Muslims are staying in Rakhine state, but they are facing persecution without any civil rights, and subsequently some of them are migrating to the adjacent Bangladesh, and in Bangladesh at present around 4 lakh Rohingya Muslims are there, and Bangladesh want to settle them in a island. So this is all about this news item, and if someone talks about Rohingya Muslims, mostly they are in Myanmar, and because of persecution they are being migrated to Bangladesh. Look into the next one. An experimental Japanese mission to clear space junk or rubbish ended in a failure. All of you are familiar with Japan's tether, basically to clear the space junk, or you can say rubbish in the space, and this ended in a failure as per the news reports. So if someone talks about the experiment which was started to clear space junk, that is Japan. Please don't forget. Look at the last issue. Government is planning to issue electoral bonds. It is the new way for citizens or corporates to donate political parties. So here corporate bonds will be issued, and one can buy these bonds by making payments digitally or through check. And please don't forget, all the donations above rupees 2000, previously it was 20,000, now in the budget it was brought down to rupees 2000. So all the donations above rupees 2000 in future must be in checks or in digital mode. And second important point is government is planning to bring electoral bonds also. Right friends, it is too premature to discuss more about electoral bonds because details are yet to be made known by the government. Right friends, with this let us conclude why and how. Please do join for other modules. Have a nice day. Thank you.